No whammies, no whammies, no whammies, no whammies, no whammies.
Stop!
Welcome to Good Mythical More. Rhett's dog's here.
Yeah, let's bring in Barbara, a little Barbara update, because she relates to this story.
She relates to this. If she's here, we're going to show her because, I mean, that's why you're here. I mean, let's just be honest.
She's gotten a little furrier. She's gotten significantly bigger, I think. It's tough for me to see because I'm spending every waking moment with her. I hold her like a baby like this.
It's tough for you to see? I think it's tough for her to see. Ooh.
We kiss sometimes. Whoa.
She wants you to put the tongue in there.
I'm not doing the French thing. Not
She's
on camera.
like, you know how we usually do this.
I'm not French kissing you on camera, Barbara. We talked about that.
Should you trim the eye hair so she could actually see?
I think that's cute.
Well, I know, but what does she think? Can she
likes
see?
it. Look. Look how good she is now.
Don't show the
Oh, you know what?
rectum.
I also realized that. Here, let's take this. Let's take her tag off real quick. It's got my wife's phone number on it.
Oh, don't tell him that. Now,
and just note to Casey, blur that out if it showed up. Follow it around with a blur like a cop's blur.
Now,
Okay.
you went
Barbara.
camping all by yourself for a solitary confinement thing.
Sit, Barbara.
And
Sit.
I want the audience to
Barbara.
I want you guys to hear about this because we kept not getting
we
around to talk about it.
Sit, Barbara.
I think I may have to tell you about it
she's
because
so good. She's been so good. Sit, Barbara. She doesn't do it on a desk though.
Let's be real.
You can drink some of my water. There you go. Yes, you can.
So my request is that you tell them and me, because I've been waiting to hear the details until you tell them about the solitary camping thing.
Well, the reason it was solitary, I'm going to tell you,
you didn't take her.
my wife and my kids have left me. No, my wife and my kids went to North Carolina for Easter and for an extended period of time, and so we can kind of work things out. They went to North Carolina for a week to see family. I couldn't go because we got to work around here, y'all. And I decided, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go into the desert, but I'm not going to take Barbara. I thought about it. The reason I decided not to take you, Barbara, don't listen to this part, is because she's very needy. Look at that. Look how needy she is. She's very needy, and I wanted it to be a
What's happening to her face? Where is it?
Just look. She just wants to be up here.
Where is the nose?
Right
there it is.
She just loves us so much, and she loves people. In fact, she does not discriminate between me or anybody who works here. You put her in here, and she just wants to go to somebody. And I was like, she's so needy, and she's still a puppy, and I don't know if I don't want to deal with that. I just want some time alone to think.
But I'm very intrigued.
And you guys
because I've never been camping by myself. Eddie has, and he highly recommended it. But
I also highly recommend it. My report is I highly recommend it. What I did is I went into Joshua Tree for a day, and then you can't at this time of year you can't get a spot at Joshua Tree because it's peak season and they reserve the campsites, and there's I didn't get there early enough. I already knew that was going to happen, and also I didn't want to be like right next to like some family and be like, who's the weird tall guy by himself without a dog or anything? And so I was like, I'm going to go into the deep, deep desert. And I found some public land where on the internet people have said you could just drive out there and there'll be like a fire ring or whatever. And if you follow me on Instagram, RhettMC, you saw that I took a picture of the campsite, which was just a lone shade tree. I set my tent up next to it.
But why did you have to be shirtless in it? I mean, let's just get
I
that out
wasn't
of the
shirtless
way.
in that one. I was shirtless in the third one.
But should we not talk about that?
I can tell you why I was shirtless because I had just woken up. I slept in my underwear, and I've been kind of telling people that you need to keep up with me. I actually
just embarrassed.
Originally,
it
was
like
the picture was just above the nipple, and I was like, that's inappropriate. So I zoomed in, and I was like, that seems a little more appropriate. Like you just see the tops of my shoulders. I still got people like, naked selfie much? I was like, well, I wasn't naked. I had on my underwear. You can believe what you want to believe. You want to picture me naked in the desert? Do it. I don't care.
I was just embarrassed for you.
You weren't there.
For you.
If you had been there, I would have done the same thing.
You'd have been asking me to take it. Like, make sure that the nipple is in or out. I don't know what you
wouldn't have had to crop later. Exactly. Next time, be ready for that. But I was concerned about something.
boogie.
I was concerned about how scared I was going to get when nightfall fell.
And I know he's not joking.
And
Because he gets scared.
well, that's happened.
I get
scared. Yeah,
I get scared, but I wasn't there.
you wouldn't go camping by yourself. Period.
No, I like the idea of it.
So I have been alone in the woods before, and it's never gone well. And so I was like feeling pretty good, and then it started getting dark, and then I cut all the lights off, and I just had the fire going. And you got to picture this: I'm in a desert where I can't see any people as far as I can see in any direction, and it's just desert. So you got all kinds of desert animals and maybe murderers. Who knows who's going to come up behind you and just whack you in the back of the head and knock you out and cut your head off with a machete, whatever. There are things like that happen. Then I started having a crazy thought, and I got into a little bit of a loop. I started realizing, I was like, according to multiverse theory, everything that can happen, according to some versions of multiverse theory, let me correct, everything that can happen is happening somewhere
in the
right
desert
now.
with you without a shirt on.
So, meaning that there is a Rhett in the desert by himself in front of a fire, and there is a guy who comes up and kills him. You know what? There's a guy who comes up and they have a fight and Rhett kills him. Every permutation of possibility is happening, and I started realizing that I'm in this little existence, and just right next to me in the scheme of things, there's all this crazy crap, every single thing. There's a universe where Barbara drives herself to meet me and then kills me, because I can think of that. Now, I don't necessarily believe that, but according to some versions of multiverse theory, it's possible. So I started getting overwhelmed with all the things that were happening in the other universes and how they were intersecting with my mind as I sat there and looked at this fire, and I thought that I was going insane.
And how many hours alone was this?
Well, I ended up just like watching a movie in the tent.
Oh gosh, was this before or after you called me?
I didn't call you, but I did write.
Call me the next
I did
day.
write a note to myself in the midst of this, because I realized that just imagining scenarios was very significant. Imagination is the act of exploring parallel universes. Unless parallel universes can violate the laws of physics, in that case, imagination is not.
Dude, you took boredom to a wrong level. You got off on the boredom elevator at the wrong.
Did you just? I think you let what I said go right over your head.
It seems I'm so weirded out by the fact that you
interact with your brain. I want your real thought.
I will, but the fact that you wrote that down is weird.
It's not the only thing I wrote down. It's the only thing I'm willing to share. Imagination is the act of exploring parallel universes.
I'm listening.
Unless parallel universes can violate the laws of physics. So what I was saying is it possible for Barbara to drive a car to see me? Not in this universe. Not in this reality. So is there a reality in which Barbara is smart enough to drive a car? Because in that case, I don't believe that multiverse theory can be real. But if they all follow the laws of physics, there's probably one in which Barbara can smell her way to me in the desert.
I think if you're going to take
and
the
then
theory,
kill me with like an infection or something.
Yeah, if you're going to embrace the theory, you gotta squeeze it all the way. But listen, you shouldn't be allowed to be alone in the desert anymore because I'm afraid for you.
I just started thinking that my fears, everything that I could think of.
Then you had to watch a movie in your tent.
Was actually happening somewhere. Right then and there. And I felt horrible for all the me's that were being murdered and violated. I have felt horrible, but for the little me that was in the desert that was totally okay, that wasn't actually going to get harmed, I was like, I'm so happy that I am that me. And that's why I woke up and took a half-naked selfie in the morning. Sue me!
I'm so happy that I'm this me, too.